It's one thing to build your wealth slowly over the years by investing and becoming a millionaire by the time that you retire. But I have a feeling that many of you watching are interested in building wealth sooner rather than later. This video is for you. You know, if I'm being honest with you guys, which I always am, my parents were never wealthy. They weren't even considered middle class. In fact, me and my two older brothers actually grew up in crime-infested Detroit, Michigan. Statistically speaking, I should not be where I'm at today in terms of how much money I'm making, the things that I own, the opportunities that I have. Now, I'm saying all of that to make a definitive point. And the point is that if I can accomplish the things that I've been able to accomplish and will continue to accomplish, every single person watching this video can do the exact same thing. But what I'm gonna do is give you the tools and the blueprint to build wealth that I wish somebody gave to me years ago when I first made the decision to start changing my future. As far as I'm concerned, there are three critical parts or steps to building wealth. And the first part is the most important part, and it's earning. I get a lot of reoccurring messages from you guys, and one of the common themes that I see is you saying things like, I want to start investing more, but at the end of the month, I only have $100 or whatever the number is. I don't have a lot of money left over after my expenses to invest. What should I do? Now, there are basically two schools of thought here. The first school of thought says, well, if you want to increase how much money you have left over after your expenses, simply decrease your expenses. Decrease how much money you're spending, and you will effectively increase how much you're able to then go save and invest. And while this is certainly true, I find that it's not always realistic. Sometimes you really just can't decrease your expenses. Perhaps all of your expenses are necessities, things that you need to survive. Or perhaps you just really enjoy getting Starbucks coffee every day. That adds joy and happiness to your life, right? You shouldn't have to give that up. And while the first school of thought does have a little bit of truth sprinkled into it, it's not always realistic, and therefore it's not my favorite school to live by. The second school of thought says, okay, if your expenses are piling up each month, you don't have any money left over to save and invest, simply go and earn more money. If you increase how much money you earn and your expenses stay the same, then you'll have more money left over at the end of each month to save and invest. That makes sense to me. And that's the school of thought that I personally prescribe to. Earn more money. Because earning more money is the most important component to building your wealth faster. But how exactly do you earn more money? Originally, when I was thinking about how to format this video, I was just going to give you guys a list of the best ways to earn more money. You know, get a raise at your job, find a side hustle, all that stuff. And there is nothing wrong with those things. That's all real advice. But I thought it would be far more helpful, more valuable, if I instead told you guys about my personal journey, what I did to get to where I'm at right now and where I plan on continuing to go, and how you can apply these same exact principles in your life to earn significantly more money, even if you're starting from $0 like I did. The way I sort of visualize making money is like this, a pyramid. And there are levels to the pyramid. The lowest level of making money is by working for someone else. This is where the majority of people currently sit. As you climb up the ladder though, yes, it does get a little bit harder, but your income increases as a result. And so the goal, if you're somebody who's watching this and you're saying to yourself, I want to be wealthy right now, the goal for you is to climb this pyramid as quickly as you possibly can. And I'm going to show you how I did it with my personal journey. It all started in 2015 after I graduated from college. Soon after I married my best friend and fiance, I quickly jumped into corporate America for my first job out of college. I was a young whippersnapper, ready to conquer the world. That right there, my friends, that is a used car dealership. That was my first job out of college, and it was arguably one of the lowest points in my life. At the time of working there, I was making about $3 an hour. That was the base salary. You heard me right, $3 an hour. Because the idea was that you were supposed to sell cars, and the commission that you earned from the cars that you sold was supposed to sort of balance out the base salary. The only problem with that was that I didn't sell cars. I was terrible at selling cars, and so I didn't get paid any commission, and that's that. And for the month and a half that I was working there, I made about $450 after taxes. I knew something had to change. And this actually brings me to my first major point. One way to earn more money is by finding a better paying job. If you are working at a place that is not paying you enough money to make ends meet, or isn't paying you enough money to give you the ability to invest more, then you really don't have an option. You have to find a better paying job. I mean, sure, you could technically get a raise at your current job, twist your HR department's arm, and try to get that 3% raise. But ask yourself, is a 3% raise or 5 or 10% raise, whatever, actually gonna be enough to drastically change your life the way that you want it? I'll answer the question for you. No, it's not. Statistically, you have a better chance of increasing your income by changing jobs than you do by getting the average 3% raise at your current job, if your job even gives raises in the first place. And so that's exactly what I did. I left the car dealership, and in 2015, I found a job working for a staffing agency. And yes, I actually went to work looking like this. All right, you guys, so here I am at my second job. That was an improvement from the car dealership, but that right there is where I used to work as an assistant, making $20 an hour. I would sit on that ledge right back there. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a ledge back there. I would sit out there with the owner of the company during breaks, and she would puff away at her cigarettes, and I would get a ton of secondhand action, that's for sure. I eventually realized, however, that $20 an hour simply wasn't enough to fund my ambitious journey to building wealth. I needed to make more money. And so I did what any rational person would do. I quit my job in 2017 with no savings and nothing else lined up except for a dream. And so after I left that job, I figured I'd take a stab at becoming a day trader, because why not? After all, it seemed so easy. I even had a YouTube channel documenting my journey. My name's Joshua, and I just started day trading pretty recently. I tried day trading for a short period, and that ended miserably. And so after about 2 months out of work, no job, no money coming in, debt piling up, bills piling up, I knew that I had to figure something out. Something else that I forgot to mention was that directly out of college, my wife and I started a business. Now, what the business did is not important, but what's important is that we needed a website. Now, I didn't have thousands of dollars to go and pay a professional to create our business's website. And so what did we do? Well, I took about a week to learn how to build the website for free by myself using the internet. And so now fast forward, I stopped day trading. It's the end of 2017. I am dead broke. I need to make money. I decided to check out Upwork.com and start trying to find work to build websites as a side hustle. And so I started building websites, and my first job ever was me building a website for $5. But I knew that I had to start from somewhere, and I had to work my way up. Eventually, each job got bigger, paid more money, and I was making more money doing it than I could have ever even imagined. I was even featured by Upwork. They interviewed me and wanted to share my story across their platform. And this actually brings me to my next point. Another legitimate way to earn more money is by taking up a side hustle or starting a side business. The point of a side hustle is to bring in additional income on top of your regular income from your day job. And if your current job is barely making ends meet, you only have a few dollars left over at the end of each month to save and invest, and you know yourself that that's not going to be enough to help you build your wealth. Then a side hustle can be just the thing that you need to help give you the extra income to then go and invest more. But if you just go to Google, type in best side hustles, and click on any of the links, you'll get a ton of ideas from various lists across several websites, including yours truly. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but Joshua, I don't have any skills that I can use to then go and make money as a side hustle. Two things. First, there are a ton of side hustles that you can start that don't require any skill whatsoever. And second, perhaps you need to take some time to learn a new skill. If you sat down for a week and fully committed yourself to learning a new skill, you would be really surprised with how much you could actually accomplish within that week. That's how I learned how to build websites. I just fully immersed myself for a solid week to learn all of the basics of how to build a website. And the basics were enough to help me get started with making money. You don't have to be a master at anything to get started making money with it. If you just understand the basics of how it works, you can start making money with it almost immediately. And so now I'm doing this side hustle that's turned into a full-time job. I'm finally making real money. What did I do next? Well, I decided to start investing my money. After all, I knew I wanted to become wealthy. And investing in the stock market over a long period of time through compounding interest was a nearly guaranteed way of becoming a millionaire. The only problem was that I very quickly realized by doing some fast math that it was going to take me decades to reach my first $1 million by investing in the stock market. And like many of you watching, I didn't want to wait until I was 65 to become wealthy. I wanted it now. Now, of course, I did still continue investing because that's still a critical part of building your wealth, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want to discuss with you how exactly I climbed that pyramid to bring my income to the next level. I fully believe that a huge part of earning more money is forcing yourself out of your comfort zone. Could I have kept my job as an assistant making $20 an hour? Sure, I could have done that. I could have stayed and earned my $600 per week after taxes, but I didn't. Because I knew that in order for me to bring my income to that next level, that I was gonna have to step out of the boat that I was currently safely in, throw a match into the boat, and swim to shore. And so I did what any rational person would do, and I turned in my 2-week notice with nothing else lined up. But if I didn't do that, if I didn't take that risk, then I would have never started my freelancing business. And if I never started my freelancing business, then I would have never started my personal finance blog because I wouldn't have had the knowledge to know how to build a website that could actually rank on search. And if I didn't start my personal finance blog, then I would have never had the confidence to go and then start my personal finance YouTube channel. And if I would have never started my YouTube channel, then I would not have the opportunities that I have today. So can you kind of start to see what's happening here? If you ever want to increase your income, how much you're earning, you will have to make sacrifices. There is no way around it. Listen, you will be uncomfortable. You will have to put yourself out there. When I first started this channel about a year ago, I was severely uncomfortable on camera. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to make engaging content, and I'm still learning. It's a constant journey, but if you never take that step to go and start that business or that side hustle or that TikTok or that YouTube channel, whatever it is, if you don't actually go and start that thing, then you're not gonna make progress and you will never earn as much income as you hope to make one day. Now, like I mentioned earlier, investing is still a critical part of building your wealth, because even if you get to a point, even when you get to a point where you're earning a 6-figure or 7-figure salary, you want to be able to continue growing that money even larger. Because here's the thing, right? The money that I'm making from YouTube, the money that I'm making from my freelancing business, the money that I'm making from my finance blog or my website template marketplace or any of the other business ventures that I have going on, in order to keep those streams of revenue flowing effectively, I have to put in hours of work. Yes, there are some components to it that are more passive than others, but to keep that machine oiled and running, I have to be willing to trade in my hours. And this is why investing is so important. When you invest your money in the stock market or in real estate or into crypto, whatever, when you invest your money is working for you 24/7. And the best part, money won't get sick, money won't ask for vacation days off, money won't complain that you're overworking it. If you put your money to work, it will work. But that's just the thing, you have to put it to work. And here's how you do that. If you don't already, I highly recommend opening up a Roth IRA retirement account. It's a type of account that allows your investments to grow tax-free. I've got an entire video dedicated to this exact topic if you want to learn more after this video. In terms of what to invest in within your Roth IRA, I personally love investing in low-cost index funds or ETFs. They basically allow me to get broad, diversified exposure over the entire stock market without having to do any work. Again, I've got several videos on my channel about index funds and ETFs. Check them out after this video. One more thing that you'll want to consider when you're making a lot more money is investing in real estate. And I'm not talking about a personal residence, but rather rental property. Real estate is arguably one of the best ways to exponentially build your wealth because it allows you to leverage your money, which is something that you cannot do in the stock market. Plus, it's a really good way to earn passive income from the rent payments from your tenants. In the end, the goal should be to invest as much of your career money as possible. If you can continue to live below your means and invest all of your extra income, even when you're earning significantly more income, if you can just invest that extra income, then your wealth will grow exponentially faster than the average person. The final part that I want to talk about is learning. Now, one of the primary reasons that I've been able to increase my income as fast as I have is because I am quite literally learning something new every single day. In particular, I'm learning how to be a better investor, a better teacher, a better content creator. I am constantly working to improve my craft here on YouTube. And it's the reason why if you look at my content even from just 3 to 4 months ago compared to today, the content, in my opinion, has drastically improved since then. Now, learning is different for everybody, okay? Some people prefer to read a book or listen to a podcast before jumping into that thing that they want to do. On the other hand, some people, and I include myself in this group, take a jump first, prepare the parachute second approach. In other words, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to learn all of the small nuances about something before actually starting it. If I did that, then I would have never started this YouTube channel because I didn't know everything there was to know about how to grow a channel or make good content. I mean, how could I have? Reading a blog article about the 7 steps to grow a YouTube channel is not going to help me grow a YouTube channel. Starting a YouTube channel and getting my hands dirty and learning from my mistakes and just learning from the process is what's going to help me to grow a YouTube channel. And this applies to every single thing that you do in life. If you wait until you're an expert at that thing, you will never start that thing. Instead, what you'll do is spend a year learning about the thing, and then you'll develop paralysis analysis, and then you'll talk yourself out of doing it. And so, yes, learning is important, but the way that I personally approach it is like this. Learn the basics of the thing that it is that you want to start, and then start the thing. As you're going along your journey, you'll run into obstacles that will require you to learn something new. Whatever that thing is, learn it, and then keep pressing forward. I'm going to use my YouTube channel as the example again, okay? Go and look at my earlier videos. The lighting, the editing, the camera angles, all of it was pretty bad in my opinion. And the only reason it got better was because as I was going through the process, I thought to myself, I bet you I could improve my lighting, or I bet you I could be better at editing, and then I went and I learned how to be better at those things while doing it. And so, for example, I would learn about how to get better lighting in my videos and then apply what I learned in my next video and then just make continued adjustments along the way. Building wealth is not about being an expert, okay? It's about your willingness to persevere and constantly improve your craft to provide value for as many people as possible. So that's all I've got for you in this video. Hey, if you have not already dropped a like down below for the YT algo, I would appreciate that so much. Also, if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Real Joshua Mayo. And as always, you guys are amazing, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.